Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Weichman. The suspect connected to the 4 Idaho college murders has waived his extradition hearing today. Brian Kohberger is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder and burglary for the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. The extradition hearing was scheduled here in Pennsylvania in Stroudsburg for 3:30 p.m. Now that Kohberger has waived the hearing, he may be set to return to Idaho as soon as law enforcement is able. Once Kohberger has arrived in Idaho, he will have an initial hearing with the magistrate. The first call of the new year for the Washington Rescue and Ambulance brought them to a motor vehicle accident in Ashland. According to the fire department, they were called in on Sunday, January 1st at 9:41 p.m. to a crash in Ashland involving a woman who rear-ended another vehicle. There were no injuries involving the incident. However, both vehicles sustained disabling damage. Plains Township Police made an arrest in Luzerne County for a protection and abuse order violation. According to police, Plains Township responded to a residence for a PFA. Once arriving, officers noticed the suspect had fled out the back door and ran into the wooded area. It was later found by investigators that 19-year-old Richard Warzel had violated the order and was later located before taken into custody. Bail was set at $5,000 for each set of his charges, and unable to post bail, he was sent to Luzerne County Correctional Facility. According to Pocono Township Police Department, at 4:30 p.m. on December 20th, 2022, a pair of Rossignol skis were stolen from Camelback Ski Resort in Tannersville. The suspects, who were thought to be a male and female couple, can be seen on the video leaving the parking lot in 2 different cars. The first car was a 4-door red sedan, while the second was a 4-door black sedan. The Rossignol skis had a variety of colors and distinctive gold stripes on the tips of each ski. The female suspect looked to be dressed in light-colored snow pants, a pink hat, and a pink jacket. The male suspect was wearing a red jacket, black snow pants, and a black hat. Those who have information should call Pocono Township Police Department at 570-629-7200, extension 240. A woman was arrested on Tuesday morning after attempting to enter the Hanover area junior-senior high school. 23-year-old Charisma Diamond Whaley was reported by officials to boarding a school bus for Hanover High School. The bus driver questioned Whaley and eventually allowed her on after accepting her responses. A student then reported to the bus driver that she was not a student but an adult. The Township Police Department were then notified. A Township police officer stopped her before she was able to enter the high school with other students around 7:30 a.m. Whaley was found to have a warrant out for her arrest in New York for burglary and other related charges. She is being held at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility for lack of $50,000 bail. A man from Hanover Township faces charges for assaulting a police officer while being arrested. Wilkes-Barre Police Department were called to a complaint of 3 men screaming around 9 p.m. on December 28th. According to police, they approached the men and detained 21-year-old Kevin.
It's me again, LJ. I'm 9 years old and tomorrow will be rainy. Get your umbrellas out because it's about to get wet.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday, and Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Troop in Hazleton, is with me. And we talk about all these different things because sometimes people just don't even think about it.
Sure.
And getting a firearm is one thing that maybe someone has thought about. And who would not be able to get one?
That's a great question. A convicted felon or somebody who has had a past mental health evaluation put on them, a 302 evaluation. They would not be able to legally purchase a firearm. And there's a reason for that. You know, maybe you're not in the right state of mind, or you're a convicted felon, so you've been arrested for a very serious crime. We don't want to put guns in those people's hands. So they are not allowed to legally own a firearm. Now I say legally, right? Because there's a thing out there called a straw purchase. So what that means is you're a convicted felon, but your boyfriend isn't. You want a firearm. So you give him the money. You say, go in there and buy me this firearm and put it in your name. He does. He comes out, and then he hands the gun to you. That's called a straw purchase, and that's illegal. And he can get arrested for doing that.
Wow. All right. So you mentioned the fact of criminal history. Is it ever possible for someone to have a criminal history erased, or is there a certain time limit? How does that work?
Certain crimes, after so long, could possibly get expunged, meaning they would be erased from your criminal history. Felonies are not one of them. So if you have a felony on your criminal history, that will stay there. That will not get expunged, and you will never be able to legally possess or own a firearm.
Are there other things that you wouldn't be able to do as well, like travel or go to out of the country or anything like that?
That I'm not sure of. There may be. I mean, we don't want to get a felony to find out, but there may be other restrictions.
Not that I'm asking.
Right, yeah. No, not personal, right. Yeah. There may be other restrictions. That's the biggest one, not allowing to legally own a firearm. And that's what happens when you buy a pistol and they run your criminal history. And if that comes up that you have a felony, they will not sell that to you, and if that person is adamant, they will call us to come over and see that a felon is trying to purchase a firearm, and they can get arrested for that.
And when you go in to purchase a firearm, does that happen instantaneously? If you're going to do you have to fill out the application there?
You have to fill it out there. You have to provide a form of ID right there in person so they could verify, and the criminal background check gets done right then and there before the firearm is purchased. It takes a little bit, but it gets done prior to the purchase. So the person can't buy it and then you're waiting for the criminal history to come back. That has to come back prior to the sale of the firearm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we know.
And it's important.
It is
Got to follow the rules.
Yep. And that's why we ask you, so that we get the right answer.
Happy to help.
All right. And we're happy to have you again here with us on Trooper Talk Tuesday. It's Trooper Talk Tuesday, and with me is Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Troop in Hazleton. What's the song? Red light, green light, yellow. I'm not sure what the song.
I don't know.
Don't know that one. Oh, it's way before your time.
Is
I'm
it?
sure.
Okay.
But what about traffic lights? I mean, we know red is stop. Yellow is.
Yeah, that's the one, yellow. People think yellow means turn into a NASCAR driver, and it does not.
Put your foot on the gas.
It does not mean that. Yellow is to prepare you that the red light is coming. So start to slow down. Don't try to go through the intersection. And obviously, when it turns red, we need to stop. Now, why are we having this conversation? Because just on my way over here, somebody went through a red light. Red means stop. It doesn't mean, well, I'm halfway out in the intersection, so I guess I should just go anyway. No, you shouldn't be halfway out in the intersection. If you're turning, you should wait in your lane until it's safe to turn. And if not, then you wait until you get the green.
And you got here on time, though.
I did get here on time.
See?
That's because, what do I always say? Plan ahead.
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. Leave early. This way, if something happens, you're still on time.
And when we're talking about traffic lights too, there's a lot of confusion because some of them are not working and they are supposed to have an arrow.
Yes.
And if there isn't an arrow, you shouldn't.
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to talk about this because
Okay.
sometimes I have to stop and educate some drivers throughout my day. So what happens is if you have a red light and you're turning right, a lot of people, it's 50-50. Some people think you can't turn on red. Some people think you can. Well, you can turn on red as long as there's not a sign that says no turn on red. If you see a sign that says no turn on red, you have to wait until you have the green. But if there's no sign, you could turn on red once you come to a complete stop and it's safe to turn. You could actually turn on red. The same goes with if you're on a one-way street and you want to make a left-hand turn onto another one-way street, you could actually turn left on red.
Oh, okay. So if
This is Driver Ed 101. We all had to take the test to get our license.
Well, we did, but maybe I don't want
We
to say
forget
that.
this stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to say. I don't
we
want to
forget
say
this stuff.
retesting or anything like that because I'll get hate mail. But it's one of those things that when you come up to an intersection and the light is red, you can make a left.
If you're on a one-way street,
a one-way.
turning onto a one-way street, that's the only time you could turn left on a red light.
Okay.
But when you're turning right on a red light, you can turn after you come to a complete stop as long as there's not a sign that says no turn on red. Now, of course, after you come to a complete stop, you have to look and make sure it's safe to pull out, and if it is, you could turn.
And again, going back to the arrow, so if there is no arrow and you're going right, if it's malfunctioning or whatever, you can go that way.
Yes.
So when you're at an intersection and you're at a traffic light and you know that arrow should be giving you because some of them aren't necessarily synced, I guess.
Right.
I guess you have to kind of wait. You can't just say, well, I should have that arrow.
No, you can't just wait. No, and that would take a lot of justification to somebody like me. No, you can't. You know, sometimes these lights, the way they're programmed, it takes a little bit longer. That does not give you the right to go through a red light when you can't go. If you have a red light and you want to turn left, you got to wait until it turns green. You know, I mean, I understand sometimes these lights take longer, but they're programmed for a reason, and they're there to make sure that our roads are safe and that when we turn, there should be no other traffic coming. But again, turning right on red, it's a big subject. I always answer these questions for people. People are always asking me about that. And again, as long as there's no sign, you could turn right on red after you come to a complete stop.
Okay. And if you're going out of town, make sure you check that out.
Absolutely.
Because some places might not have that.
Correct. We're talking about Pennsylvania here.
Right.
Do your due diligence, look into it where you're going, and know the rules and the laws where you go.
Because you'd love to meet him, but I don't think you'd want to do it with.
Not like that.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Maybe
at
at the coffee shop.
Even better. Trooper Talk Tuesday, Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Trooper in Hazleton. Hope you'll join us again.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Attention, WYLN viewers. WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, you're going to see this beautiful Larissa tell her story about how her headaches, her back problems with her pregnancy, and even any kind of trouble she had with her family, her husband and her daughter, they all come to chiropractic. So come and see what we're about.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Pennsylvania State Police announced the Christmas holiday crash and enforcement results. Over the Christmas holiday weekend from December 23rd to the 25th, the Pennsylvania State Police investigated 661 car accidents that resulted in 7 fatalities and 113 injuries. Alcohol contributed to 36 collisions, including 2 fatal collisions. 116 people were detained by the troopers for driving while intoxicated or under the influence of narcotics during the course of the 3 days. More than 451 speeding tickets, 110 seatbelt infraction tickets, 11 child passenger safety seat infraction tickets were issued by the police. As the new year has arrived, new laws are set in place in Pennsylvania. Multiple new laws are already in effect and are a part of the 66 bills that Governor Tom Wolf signed in November. Starting January 2nd, drivers will be notified that their vehicle registration could be suspended if they owe at least 4 tolls or more than $250 in unpaid tolls. Along with the crackdown on drivers who owe tolls from the turnpike, you may also see new changes when you're behind the wheel. Driverless vehicle testing is now permitted in the state of Pennsylvania. Also, a new law allows fentanyl testing strips legal. These strips detect fentanyl and other drugs to prevent overdoses. Another law allows 17-year-olds to enter burning buildings as part of junior firefighting training. This will allow junior firefighters to become full-fledged members of the firehouse as soon as they become 18. Another new law requires state agencies, their local contractors, and local governments to notify victims of a data breach within 7 days if personal identifiable information was involved. Residents of the Freeland Borough recently have had questions about garbage collection, and the Freeland Borough would like to clear up some of that uncertainty. According to a recent post to the Freeland Police Department's Facebook page, Freeland Borough Council recently voted 4-1 to award a 5-year contract to Anthracite Waste Services. Freeland Borough citizens are urged to place loose bags of garbage or boxes of recyclables at the curb or purchase personal cans from which Anthracite Waste Services employees would remove the bags. Anthracite Waste Services employees will begin servicing routes in Freeland Borough as follow. Units on Center Street and all streets to the west toward Drums should place their bags or cans at the curb on Monday evening for Tuesday. All streets to the east towards Whitehaven should place their bags or cans at the curb on Tuesday evening for Wednesday pickup. Units will continue to be allowed to place 1 bulk item on the curb per week, and no stickers will be required at this time, although the policy could be subject to change in the future. Units should place recycling at the curb on Wednesday evening for Thursday pickup on a bi-weekly basis. Additional information related to waste collection is posted at freelandboroughcouncilofficial.blogspot.com. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton saw its first bundle of joy of the new year. We met up with our friends at LVHN in Hazleton to talk to their new mother, Cynthia Quesada Diaz, and meet her newborn son, Jaden. Jaden was born on January 1st at 6:06 p.m., right on time for his due date. We spoke to Cynthia about her pregnancy, along with her challenges now as a newborn mother.
A little weird and excited because, it's something new. It's like something new, and I'm excited. I'm just excited. I don't know how to explain how that feel because it's amazing. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I feel so excited that it's my first baby, New Year baby. Something, it's like a gift.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
And you have it all. You have it all.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your health, you have him, and you have a future that looks very bright.
Everyone here at WYLN 35 extends warm wishes to Cynthia, the father Louis Miniel, and newborn Jaden. Coming up on Beaver Meadows News Choice, we sit down with Marty Burns on Tuesday's Let's Talk Sports. Plus, Trooper Anthony Petrosky is with us once again on Trooper Talk. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. I was thinking that we're in the beginning stages of 2023, looking back to 2022 and not too far ago. We had talked about it, the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception between the Raiders and the Steelers in that big playoff game in 1972 where Franco Harris picked up the ball out of the air and ran it in for a touchdown to give the Steelers the victory at Three Rivers Stadium. And unfortunately, days before the 50th anniversary of that catch, Franco Harris passed away. The Steelers were planning a big ceremony, and they continued that. A lot of the former Steelers were there, that included Mean Joe Green of those Pittsburgh Steelers, where they retired the number 32 of Franco Harris, and the jersey was presented to his family in a halftime ceremony. Franco Harris, one of those big keys to what I consider the best team in the 70s, and when you consider they won 4 Super Bowls during that range, and had some tough competition, those aforementioned Raiders, along with Don Shula's Dolphins, who early on in the 70s came through with an undefeated season, along with a Super Bowl victory. But the Steelers, I think, and I don't think you get much argument, was the team of the 70s. And Franco Harris was a big key to that. You know, you had Terry Bradshaw, you had a lot of those guys up front, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Rocky Blyer, the Steel Curtain defense, but Franco Harris was a very big key, came up with a lot of big plays in those playoff runs and Super Bowls for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And just like that Immaculate Reception game, the Steelers hadn't done much offensively in 1972, came away with that Immaculate Reception for the victory. Those two teams played again Christmas Eve, and the Raiders had a 10-6 lead over the Steelers. Steelers hadn't done much offensively most of the night, come up with a late drive to get the winning touchdown, just as they had done 50 years ago against the Oakland Raiders, this time defeating the Las Vegas Raiders. Franco Harris, member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know a lot of local fans remember him at Penn State, sorely missed, and was sorely missed at that great ceremony on Christmas Eve night, honoring the 50-year celebration of the Immaculate Reception. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Let's Talk Sports. And as always, it's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Have a great night.
You're